What's a day like at the zoo? Why don't we take a quick look? What's a day like for us educators? But it's not all fun and games.
Any minute now, my ship is coming in. I'll keep checking the horizon, and I'll stand on the bow and feel the waves come crashing down, down, down on me.
As children, we associate the zoo with pandas, bears, monkeys, and fun. In fact, we still do. But the zoo fulfills a far more important role than just entertainment. As we delved deeper into our internship and were introduced to various departments, we began to realize just how much time, effort, and thought went into taking care of over 500 species at the Taipei Zoo. To show you just how much effort goes into one animal, let's take a behind-the-scenes look at the Formosan black bear.
At the Taipei Zoo, we currently have 7 Formosan black bears, but only 3 adults and 1 cub are on display for visitors to see. The newest member of the zoo is Heitang, a cub sent from Pingdong. Heitang can often be seen playing in his gym where he can run and exercise. In addition, the zookeeper will enter his play area and mimic the role of the mother through her interactions with the cub. Once mature, Heitang will play a key role in the reproduction program. Right next door to Heitang, you might see Xiaoxiong taking a bath, nap, or just relaxing in the sun. Life might seem pretty easy when his food is brought to his doorstep twice a day, but this in fact has caused Xiaoxiong to become overweight. If Xiaoxiong lived in the wild, he may forage all day for food, allowing him adequate exercise. But here, the zoo environment is invariably too small for bears, and they are unable to receive sufficient physical activities, causing many of the bears to become overweight. In addition to the cramped quarters, Xiaoxiong also exhibits some stereotypical behavior of animals that suffer from boredom and stress in the form of pacing. To this effect, the zoo has created enrichment programs designed to imitate their natural habitat. While visitors are able to see at least 4 of the Formosan black bears on a daily basis, the remaining 3 are kept in protection area for various reasons. One of the 3 Formosan black bears located in the protection area is Dudu, who was originally raised as a pet. Dudu spent most of his young life in a cramped box. When his owner could no longer handle taking care of the growing bear, he was given to the zoo. Sadly, the physical and psychological problems were already in place due to the trauma he had experienced. Compared to healthy Formosan black bears, Dudu's physical appearance is abnormal. His legs are deformed, being short and stout. His body shape is said to be of a bus shape. In addition, as a consequence of being confined to a box, he experiences agoraphobia, a fear of open spaces. Therefore, he is not accustomed to moving around for exercise and has become overweight. His story sheds light on the conflicting roles humans have in the destruction and the protection of wildlife. As a visitor, you may think that the zookeepers only need to pay attention to the health of the animals, but they must also be aware of any changes in their behavior and outward appearance. In one particular case, Jianyu injured herself with a small scratch on her lower leg. For humans, we know that during the healing process, we must not aggravate our wound by scratching. However, Jianyu was unaware of her own strength and scratched herself so hard that the wound became bigger and bigger. Animal welfare is not merely about feeding and cleaning, but it's also about maintaining the psychological and physical well-being of the animals. A key role here at the zoo is the conservation of Formosan black bears. Reproduction plays a vital role, but is further complicated by uncertainty regarding the purity of these Formosan black bears. In an attempt to expand their knowledge of Formosan black bears, the zoo has funded a project for further DNA analysis of the bears in the zoo as well as in the wild. Thus far, the zoo has only been able to collect a small sample size of about 10 black bears from the fur left on branches and stool. The DNA of these animals will be used as a comparison to determine the genetic markers for a pure Formosan black bear, but as there are no good benchmarks as of yet, this may prove to be a tricky process. Ultimately, the goal of the zoo will be to maintain the purity and increase the numbers of the Formosan black bear both in the zoo and in the wild.
While the zoo's role in conservation for Formosan black bear lies in multiplying their numbers, their role for Formosan macaques is far more different. Over 4,000 macaques a year were hunted for its meat and captured for lab testing. This caused the population of the macaques to decline drastically, prompting conservation laws to be enacted in 1989 in Taiwan to illegalize hunting and trade of macaques. Today, the macaques are prospering in the wild and causing many unforeseen problems. There have been many confrontations in the news regarding humans clashing with macaques, more specifically with farmers and tourists. Many fruit farmers established their farms along the base of the mountains of Taiwan. These establishments border the natural habitats of the macaques, making it easy for macaques to raid the farmers' fruit. In fact, in any season, 3/4 of the farmer's crop can be lost. The macaques not only eat the fruit, but also damage the tree itself. The government has tried many strategies to help these farmers deter macaques from raiding farmers' crops, such as handing out rockets and setting up a nuisance squad. But these efforts have all been in vain, since the macaques are highly adaptive, intelligent creatures. This forces farmers to take things into their own hands. Farmers had tried measures such as playing loud music and setting off firecrackers, but these are only temporary solutions. These failed plans give farmers no choice but to switch from planting fruits that macaques like to ones that are less palatable. For example, in Zonghua County, some farmers who were growing longyan in areas that were designated by the government to grow longyan switched to growing baiyou. There are also environmental implications to this decision. Longyan has deeper roots than baiyou, allowing it to hold the soil better. This switch to baiyou has increased the number of landslides and also disqualifies the farmers for government aid. The macaques are equally troublesome in tourist areas. The macaque tourism industry was set up originally as an alternative means of income to macaque hunting. This was particularly successful in Kaohsiung, and large tourist groups frequent the area to see wild macaques. However, this created yet another set of problems. Visitors often ignore the no-feeding rule and hand out food to the macaques. This causes macaques to become more bold around people, leading to many issues, including attacks on humans. But things can be different. In Taichung, there is a model tourist site where a peaceful coexistence exists between humans and macaques. The keeper has been able to establish a mutually respected boundary between visitors and the macaque troops. Right now, there are 3 troops which share adjacent territories peacefully in this area. This was achieved through training using food. If a troop misbehaves, it doesn't get food. Even then, it took 10 years to get to this stage of coexistence. The keeper sees his role as being very important in educating people about macaque behavior and that there are certain rules people need to abide. Here at the Taipei Zoo, we also face the problem of visitors feeding the macaques. The macaques are quite intelligent and have learned hand signals to goad visitors into throwing food into their territory. Thus, many visitors often throw human snacks to them. The feeding of food by visitors may cause the macaques to become overweight. The previous macaque king had died from diabetes due to overfeeding by visitors. Just recently, a zookeeper found a macaque playing and trying to eat a water bottle that a visitor had thrown. In order for the zookeeper to retrieve the bottle, he had to exchange it with the macaque for a tasty treat. While there are signs and programs to educate people about the dangers of feeding, most visitors still ignore this and continue to throw food. The task of changing people's views on macaques is a difficult challenge. The behavioral problems are a consequence of human actions. The macaques are merely reacting according to their natural instincts in gathering food from the easiest source. It is the human's responsibility to maintain the natural boundaries between man and beast and to ensure we don't overstep the mark. So, to the black bear and macaque, are we friend or foe? We'd like to think we're their friends. Humans and animals once lived side by side peacefully and harmoniously, and through education and conservation, we can achieve this again.